Neomelani with EnglishGang.com, and here are some tips and tricks for teaching the Cheetahs course. Now, in front of me, I have the Cheetahs Unit 1, Lesson 1, and typically I like to start each lesson with an introduction, especially if it's my first official lesson with a student. I like to say, "Hello, my name is Neomelani." Now, they might not understand what you are saying depending on their level. They might not know how to say your name. Typically, students just call you teacher or say, "Hello, teacher," which is completely fine, but I like to point. Whenever I speak, I like to point to under my chin like this or toward my mouth so that it directs their attention to me and to what I am saying. And then I say, "What is your name?" Now, sometimes they might not respond to you at all because they don't know what you are saying. And so using props and just TPR is important. And so sometimes I may grab a puppet, depending on their age, say, "Hello, my name is Neomelani. What is your name?" "Hello, my name is Rocky the Rabbit." "Hello, Rocky." Be upbeat. Show an example. And I also love to use fingers just to show how many words might be in a sentence. And to when I like to also cut my ear, which prompts the student to speak. It shows them that you want them to respond and to speak. And using fingers helps guide them as far as how many words might be in a sentence or response. And then I will read off the slide. Today is lesson 1, and we will talk about words that end in AG. We will talk about the AG word family. And our theme is things you can bring to school. So overemphasizing with your facial expression, you want to be demonstrative with both your hands. Utilize hand gestures whenever you can to emphasize or prove a point and to demonstrate a point or a concept. And you want to use your facial expressions when you form words to over-exaggerate them. And then I'll go to the next slide, and I will teach. I will go over the unit in the lesson, and I will tell them that the main topic is covering the AG word family. We will talk about words that end in AG, like bag, and I would highlight the word bag just to show an example. And our theme today, again, is things you can bring to school. And then our grammar topic is this is. And so I'm more like previewing the lesson plan for them so that they are not blindsided. Now it's my turn, the objectives. I will restate these objectives. Today's lesson, we will recognize and name things that he or she could bring to school. And so you restate what the objectives are, what the lesson content will be about. Betty will go to school. Let's say the student may need a little bit more assistance, and they may need you to show them and to demonstrate how to read the sentence. I will say, Betty, again pointing, so it directs their attention to my mouth area. Betty will go to school. Or I will say, Betty will go to school. And then I will read the question down here. What will she bring to school? And then reading slowly and highlighting the words. What will she bring to school? Reading it a couple of times. Maybe that they might need that repetition. Here I just have the students recite the words, and I circle the picture and I say, what can you bring to school? And I will have them respond in I will bring, or well, I will bring a notebook. I will emphasize that sentence structure on this slide. And then what will you, and then again here, re, repetition, repetition, repetition. So what will you bring to school? I will bring a pencil. I will have the student, for these next several slides, because the sentence structure is the same, I will have them read both the question and the response twice, correct. And then to teach concepts like bring, I will have them read this slide, and then I will highlight bring, and then I like to test them. What do you think bring means? Or do you know what bring means? Sometimes they just stare at you like deer in the headlights. In headlights, right? And so that's when I break out whatever I have, bird, I don't know, pen, pencil, something that would relate to the lesson. So pen. I will bring a pen to school. It means to take something with you to another place. I will bring a pen to school. But sometimes students struggle because it's not what they've seen as it's not the book they've seen before. And so I would use, if you have a book or if you have a pen or a pencil or a crayon physically present, then I would show them. Typically, when you add color to the picture, they understand. Oh, book. And then when they get it, when I show them this book, what is this? Book. Ah, good. I will circle this outlining of a book so that they associate, the black and white outlining with what I'm holding in my hand, that it's a book. So if they're struggling with blending or being able to read a word, I like to, use my whiteboard and say b, 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 b. And then I will connect the two letters, ba, ba, ba. Good. And you have them repeat, cup your ear, g, 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 bag. And so this is blending. This is a great tool to facilitate learning how to read, especially basic words like this. And so I would encourage you to use your whiteboard and to blend like that for any of these words. And then reading, picture reading is an amazing tool, again, to facilitate language retention. So this is a bag. At this point, they can read. They've experienced and have viewed pictures of what a bag is, tag, and they understand this sentence structure. So this is really an assessment to gauge, how well they've retained the information. Again, and here during the booster part, sometimes, I ask students to tell me 3 boosters with words ending in AG written on them. And then they'll say 3 tomatoes, 3 red tomatoes. What are the words? Rag, bag, tag, and congratulate them anytime they do something great, or anytime they speak a sentence correctly. And then story time. At this point, again, picture reading facilitates language retention. It's an amazing tool. And at this point, they are typically able to read these sentences all by themselves. Because of what the emphasis that I've emphasized throughout the lesson as far as sentence structure and the picture. And so this is really an assessment to gauge how well they've retained the information. If they need help with pronunciation, or maybe they don't recognize or they recognize this object but they don't really remember the word, I would say if they say this is I will go over here and highlight pencil, and highlight both the object and then the word so that they associate the two. So if they struggle, that's what I would do. And then their star words, have them read their star words and count out how many stars they receive. This, again, is another assessment to assess whether they've retained a good amount of the information, the words that we covered in today's lesson. And then there's homework. A lot of the time students don't do their homework, but that's okay. If you have time, go over the homework now in the lesson, the current lesson, or if there's no time, just tell them, name and draw some things that you can bring to school. And next time we will cover it. If they forget or they don't do the homework, that's okay. I still like to cover the homework at the beginning of the next lesson. We repeat what we learned in the previous lesson, and we reinforce those concepts, so that it's a continuous, it's a progression, and it's a continuous learning process, right? And then I'll say, it was nice to see you. I hope to see you next lesson, and I like to leave off on a good note, and so that's how I would approach this lesson.
Da, 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 da. English 10!